A girl discovers something terrifying in the dead of night. Four men had just thrown her best friend off a cliff. The horrifying scene made Annie let out a blood-curdling scream, which immediately gave away her location to the criminals. When they spotted the camera in Annie's hands, the men decided they had to silence her for good. Annie bolted back to the campsite, grabbed her climbing gear, and made a desperate run toward the mountains. The criminals were hot on her trail. When she reached the base of the mountain, Annie immediately started scaling the rock face. Jack, one of the men, didn't hesitate to follow her up. He quickly closed the distance and was soon right below her, his left hand desperately clawing at her leg. In a panic, Annie delivered a powerful kick that sent Jack plummeting from dozens of feet up. But instead of scaring off the remaining criminals, this only fueled their rage. They shouted that she was going to pay for what she'd done. The men carried Jack back to camp, then grabbed their own climbing equipment and set out to hunt Annie down. By now, Annie had made it halfway up the mountainside. She bit through her climbing pack and slowly pulled out the thin wire inside. After bending one end into a hook, she carefully shifted her trembling feet and tried to snag a climbing rope that was about 6 feet away. Suspended over the massive chasm, Annie knew that one wrong move could send her plummeting to her death. Fortunately, her desperate effort paid off. The wire finally caught the rope, and she slowly reeled it in until she could grab hold of it. Then she began swaying her body back and forth, using momentum to swing herself onto another ledge. When she looked up, she spotted a tent perched on the cliff above. Annie continued her careful ascent, using every ounce of strength in her arms and legs until she finally made it up. But just as she reached the top, she realized the criminals were directly above her. They had figured out she was hiding below. The men called down, saying they'd let her go if she just handed over the camera. One of them had his partner pass him a rope, which he tossed down to her. Annie knew that once she gave up the camera, they'd kill her anyway. After thinking it over, Annie tied a blank piece of paper to the rope. When the three men saw movement below, they assumed she had given in and quickly pulled the rope back up. But when they saw nothing but a white piece of paper at the end, they flew into a rage. That night, while Annie was resting in her tent, two of the men grabbed a heavy backpack and hurled it down at her. With a thunderous crash, Annie was thrown from her tent.